GM fam, we are live with Value Vibes podcast with your hosts Zircon, Solinvestor, and myself, Felix Contreras, where we talk about NFTs, Solana NFTs, and a lot of things going on in this world. A lot of things like and Claynos,
Claynos.
and other stuff like Oogy, Bastards, Tensors, and lots of more stuff. All right, so what's going on, guys? Lots has happened, especially with Claynos, and we can talk about that first. I think we should talk about that first. Solinvestor, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I actually have a small topic, but I'm afraid if I tell you, you'll never unsee it.
Ah,
You'll
okay,
never unsee it.
okay.
And
All
it's a
right,
major
so
collection.
all
Oh,
right.
we're jumping right to it. All right, Magic Eden. Let's get
Well,
on Magic Eden.
I want to know how you're doing.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I was just excited when I saw this, and I can't unsee it now. So that's the first thing that popped into my head because I was just looking at it.
All right, we'll talk about that. Zircon, how's everything, man? How's everything on the west part of the world?
Everything's good, Phil. I was really surprised that my Twitter feed was. I usually had like. Have you seen the highlights on Twitter? How you can get notifications of highlights from the people you follow, and I
Yeah.
received like 3 highlights. This is not usual. This doesn't happen often. 3 highlights yesterday from Claynos, all Claynos. NFT Doctor mentioning Claynos, DJ News mentioning Claynos. What's going on with Claynos? So I'm
Yeah.
really surprised of all the hype Claynos are getting around. We'll discuss about it in a few minutes.
That's so my day's been great, my week's been great. I do want to start off with Claynos. I mean, a lot of things has happened in the macro as far as the markets. You have Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell stating about how he might go to 50 basis points without kind of saying it. Wants to give the warning to the markets before something like that does happen. You saw the S&P 500 dip down. You saw crypto dip down. Solana going to $18. Lots of stuff. But these Claynos have basically said, no, we're not going down. We're going up. And that's exactly what happened. And I think a lot of it has to do with a lot of people from Ethereum finally noticing this project. I mean, Solinvestor, how do you put this out there? I mean, this is kind of insane how they're just going against the market, and not just them. There's a lot of NFTs too, and I think we can probably say the correlation between NFTs and crypto. What do you say about that?
Yeah, I mean, look, Claynos popping off. We spoke about this for the longest time. Phil, I can't believe you and I didn't ape in because we were talking about it throughout its period at 25 Sol. We were saying they're killing it on Twitter. They're killing it on Twitter. These things are going to pop off. We've been saying this for like 2 weeks. Unfortunately, you and I didn't buy in, but
I do have one though.
You have one. I mean, I was kicking myself because man, I was staring at this collection for the longest time, but I just didn't pull the trigger. That's general wealth funded again. But no, look, they've been killing it on Twitter, and now it's sort of like other people are killing it for them. You know what I mean? It's really good to see when we talk about other projects as well. I gotta give a shout out to Pilots. Gotta give a shout out to Look, Claynos has done like a 2.5x, right? Pilots has done like a 2x. I mean, you love to see it. You love to see it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is one we also talked about, and I mean, 13 was crazy. 20 kind of sounds, reasonable in some sense in NFT world. Zircon, I mean, about the Claynos, this is one project of us DJs we like to talk about, and we just watch it pump while we just stare at it. How do you feel? I mean, how do you feel right now with this reaching 60? Did you see this coming, especially like right now? Because for me, it was something
No.
that I thought I was predicting like next year. I wasn't thinking this was going to happen now, and it kind of changes everything.
Yeah, I mean, I knew they were gonna sooner or later get to 50 plus again, just because of their first starting point and how they hold it all the way down when they started dipping a little bit. So I knew this will happen, not at these early stages. To be fair, I mean, if we talk straight about numbers, they just flipped Famous Fox Federation and Blocksmith Labs, which is crazy. We're talking about two of the OG projects, of the biggest OG projects in Solana, and they already flipped them both in one hit. So this is crazy. They are definitely blue chip material. We saw it from day one, and we keep talking about it because of how they communicate with the Twitter basis, and they basically they're doing everything the right way. I think right now they're not making silly mistakes, like not communicating or not dropping anything at all. That those kind of things that people normally think that should be the first thing you do as a project. They are not doing these kind of mistakes, so I'm really happy for them. I'm really happy for them. Sorry, I'm laughing at that dino pig that just fell on the screen. But I'm really happy for the Claynos that they're doing well, because we love them and we enjoy the art since, like, I remember, Phil, you got our whitelist spots like 3 months even before the mint. So we're talking about Claynos for like 2 years now, like a year and a half from now, or a year from now. So it's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's been a year?
Yeah, I remember.
Gosh.
I remember around July. It's not a straight year, but I think you started talking about Clayno when we first
Yeah, yeah.
joined to Value in like July, I think.
Yeah, we started talking about it back in the day, before Clayno was Clayno,
Yeah,
before Mint. And look where it's at now. I mean, this is funny. And even they flipped Bored Ape Yacht Club. That, it's something that, if you would have said 5 years ago, like, hey, would they flip them in the 24-hour? People will laugh. And here we are, that they did this. This is definitely a big congratulations right here. And then, your boy Solinvestor, NFT doctor, he pretty much loves the Claynos. Look what he did here. What? He swept 20. He swept 32 Claynos. I mean, and this is at the peak 46. So he's definitely getting into the whole project now. I don't know if you saw this one, Solinvestor. I think he's shocked. Unless
yeah, I think he is frozen or really astonished by the surprise of the Clayno.
I think he couldn't handle. I think he couldn't handle the talk. But yeah. So there you go. I mean, Claynos, and just another addition on here. They sold right now a Clayno 7392 for 1,425 Solana. That is $26,000. And then they sold another one for $26,000 as well. Man, what's going on? I think Solinvestor is back. I think he got back up. He's back. Oh, Solinvestor, we basically asked you, NFT Doctor, your boy, he went bullish on them. He bought about 32 freaking Claynos.
Yeah, he swept these on the dip when Claynos dipped just below 50. So Claynos broke above 50, dipped just below 50. His entry was supposed to be around 45. Someone front runned him on that sweep, and he had to pick them up a little bit higher than his preferred entry. But look, I've traded with NFT Doc. I've spoken to him, and I have to say, this man is brilliant. He's an absolute genius, right? There's no two ways about it. Probably one of the best traders and investors in the space. Now, what's interesting, not that he swept it, because he's a whale and he sweeps a bunch of things, right? What's interesting to me is that he's calling Claynos the next DGods. And that's what's interesting.
He said it on here?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
He said it on either the thread you've just clicked on or the one below that. One of them. We just keep scrolling.
Oh, okay. He's comparing it right now, and then Oh, the last time this was the gods. Yeah, he's definitely throwing it out there. Blue
Oh
chip,
yeah.
surviving the bear. The community is the buyer. The community is the face, and us, Degens, talking about it. That have no lives every week, and then art, and then marketing. Interesting. Yeah, I dig it, man.
Yeah, so I really like what he's saying here, and it just gets me bullish because I mean he was a buyer of DGOS at a very early stage, and even when DGOS has been sitting at 500 Sol, NFT Doc has actually been trading the traits of the DGOS, and he's made tens of thousands of dollars just doing that. So this guy really knows his stuff, and I don't believe, in my opinion, at least, I don't know anyone who knows and understands DGODs as well as NFT Doc. I mean, this dude's out there trading trades. So for him to say that this is the next DGODs, that's a bold statement. And coming from him, I mean, that just says something.
Yeah, for sure, man. Now, well, let's go on to the next one. I think we went for a while on the Claynos, and I would love to talk about Claynos more, but I want to basically bring out this next topic. It is what we call Oogy NFT. Oogy NFT is basically finally coming out, and with some more artwork, and I just dig it, man. I think this is gonna be the biggest mint. I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna say this is gonna be the biggest mint, bigger than the bastards. Just the art for me is just insane. I love it. It's completely different from everything else I've seen, and I do think this is gonna take Solana to another attraction level. Now, Zircon, I know you like to talk about a lot about art. What do you think of this?
I like it. I've seen a project doing a similar approach in the past that finally ended up as a rug, but I really loved the art. I enjoyed it. It was called, I think, Elysian Kids. They were a free mint and opened the market at 10 sol. So it was kind of crazy. And I really enjoy the art of these guys. So
Yeah,
if they have if they do the things the proper way and manage the hype, they can do really well because the art is on point.
you know what? You know what we should do? We should do the hot fish challenge. We gotta do the hot fish challenge because right now you got. If you guys don't know what the hot fish challenge is, Oogy NFT went on Mark Coulter's podcast and did a hot basically just said let's get some random meat. Screw it, let's get fish. And then they put hot sauce and they're like, oh, this tastes really good. So it seems like this trend is going around for the Oogies, like a community trend. We got to do this live, man. What do you guys think? So Solinvestor, you want to do it?
Hot fish absolutely challenge. Not.
We gotta do the hot fish challenge. It's our only way to get. I'm telling you, if we do this, it could either mean we will get nothing out of it, or they'll notice and then they'll be like, wow, these guys, they really went for something disgusting and really tried. We should give them some cool stuff. I mean, who knows? Maybe a pat in the back. I don't know.
Yeah, no, they may even make for us a 101, but I mean, I'm cool with drinking the hot sauce. I don't think I'm cool with just like eating random. Do we get to cook the fish? Can we cook the fish? That's my question.
Cook the fish. We'll put it right here. We'll put some hot sauce, maybe 3 different kinds, like he has, and then we'll take it one at a time. Let's do it.
Yeah, okay, let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, next live video, we're gonna do the hot fish right here. All of us, we're gonna go live. It's gonna be insane. Make sure you watch it. All right, so we have, just art after art after art. I mean, besides the hot fish, Solinvestor, would you call this the biggest mint right now in Solana? Or would you say it will be the bastards?
Let me put it this way: if Claynos keeps pumping, this would be the biggest mint. That's the thesis, because Claynos pumping shows shows someone more of an art meta, right? That will generally support a project like this. I mean, let's say the market crashes, Claynos goes back to 25, and it doesn't really pump for the next 3 weeks or something like that. During that time, this project mints. I don't think this would be the biggest mint. But if Claynos keeps killing it, even if the market dumps, they're relatively okay and then they start pumping again or whatever. I do think this project will do really well. So I would monitor Claynos and sort of use Claynos to better inform me of what the market is appreciating and where the meta's at.
Yeah. Interesting point. I mean, what I meant by is this year, the biggest mint, not compared to the years before. But you also have the bastards.
It won't be the big. Sorry, did you say the biggest mint of the year?
Yeah, of the year.
Oh no, absolutely no. We're only in the third month.
Yeah, we're in
I would say
Q1.
that. Yeah, we're still in
I'm
Q1.
already calling it.
But I do think they'll
All
do well. I know one or two of the team members, great guys. I think they're killing it. I think they're going to do well. I like them. And let's not forget, so Big Brain bought in before anyone else. He was in the pre-sale.
Now we also have the bastards coming in, and they finally have a date. It's March 15th. It looks pretty cool. I like the background. I like how it comes out. I mean, you can see some more art behind this. March 15th. Boom, look at that. They got the arms. They got the glutamus maximus in there, and it just looks pretty cool. Are you guys looking forward to this one?
Do we have the mint details already?
It's probably in the Discord. We can definitely look for it and see what actually comes out for the bastards and what they actually have. But overall, I think the bastards on March 15th. It's gonna definitely hopefully bring a awakening in Solana with the price right now as $18. And I'm thinking that we're finally going to see some action going on. But let's see if we can actually get what the details are around the bastards. Okay, so we have the bastards list right here, which is not really much actually. You got the notice board, you got the declarations. Let's see. All right.
No,
Okay. I don't see much. It's probably somewhere in there. But that's what we have right now.
Does anyone here have whitelist for this project?
No, I didn't try it much about
it. I'm bearish now. They didn't give us whitelist. We're bullish on Oogy, guys. We're bullish on Oogy. Oogy at least gave you a whitelist spot. I think these guys are going to do well. I think they're going to do well.
Yeah, they may or may not do a Gen 0 deploy before the main collection, for what I'm seeing, because it's really weird that with the mint coming in 5 days, there's no announcement yet on the mint price unless they do it like today. So maybe they drop the Gen 0. I don't think so. They're probably gonna just straight mint, but I don't know. And I don't know which was the pre-sale price, because with that you can get more or less an estimate of the price.
Shout out to King Leo. What's up, man? How's it going, man? But yeah,
Does
Dude, King
anyone
Leo,
know what the
man,
roadmap
always.
is?
I don't know, but King Leo, man, dude, that dude just shout out to him, man. A lot of love on King Leo. So now we also have something else that it's basically coming out. It is where is it out? Okay, it's basically the meta right now. This meta guy, he basically came out saying that the gods is something that he looks interested on. Right here, agreed, Galen Walken. How do I join the gods crew? Because of this one guy called Galen who basically bought in. His name is Owen. He's the co-founder of Infinity Gods, ex-director of gaming in Meta. The gods is just getting bigger, man. They're just getting bigger. Even the price is at 565 right now. And with Solana going down, more than likely it's going to go up. But the first thing I want to ask before this, I mean, Solinvestor, the way the price goes with Solana right now, I mean, would you say with NFTs, is it usually the opposite that it goes up as Solana currency goes down? Is that the most common thing that usually happens?
Oh,
I think
you're
he's
muted.
muted.
Yeah. You're muted.
Oh, great. Okay, so generally the rule is Solana pumps, NFTs dump, Solana dumps, NFTs dump. But I will say that the situation's a little bit different in the sense that Solana pumped and the price of NFTs dumped. Now, Solana hasn't really dumped, but what it's done, it's been grinding downwards within range. And because of that, NFTs have been pumping. I think NFTs will dump if Solana just dumps. But if Solana slowly trends downwards the way it's doing, step by step, I think NFTs might actually pump. So it really just depends on sort of how that price action happens. I'm actually hoping for a dump, but we'll see.
Yeah, this is insane. Like, I mean, Zircon, look at this. Everything is green here, man. It's just like the last time we saw this, everything was in red, and
Yeah.
now everything is in green. On
It
just the
flipped
things
in
that we
one day.
watch. Ah,
It flipped in one day. Literally, if you didn't catch it the day prior, you missed the entire dip. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
I thought the pump was a little bit unfair for a lot of people, but it is what it is.
The one I'm getting curious about is Bet3, because Bet3 out of everything going up, Bet3 has actually gone down. And I went on Twitter and I was researching on why and on what's
Oh
going on,
God, man.
but I couldn't really find anything because they're basically like a casino type of moving play right now, from what it looks like. And I think Zircon, you were talking about this 2 days ago about casinos,
Yeah.
and I mean casinos right now just I mean how would you say it right now with Bet3 and everything in casinos?
I mean, it's really tricky because there's this thing. I always the trend the trend of everything related to Solana when there's no volume usually goes down in terms of price when it's related to revenue share, casinos, airdrops, yada yada yada. But I don't know what happens with casinos straightforward because casinos are not related, not it's hard to say it, but it's not straight crypto related. It's people playing with money. And most of the casinos, I don't know if these ones like Bet3 or Immortals, for example, but I don't know if they have already multi-chain support. If they have multi-chain support, there's nothing to be worried in in technical aspects because they are not straightly attached to Solana,
Yeah,
but they usually go down. They
I
tend to go down.
I really want to look into Bet3 with what what Cody's doing.
Yeah.
I just think it could probably be something to maybe for me to look at as a flip. but I mean, I'll look into it later. Solinvestor, I mean, Taiyo Pilots, man, it's gone up from 13 when we were talking about it. This is basically almost like a 2x. I think there's reasonable price. I mean, what do you think?
I think I missed the dip.
Yeah.
Look, there's no fundamental reason per se as to why this is pumping. Tom's been more active on Twitter. That's basically it. Liquidity came back to the market. It flowed in two directions mainly. Well, it flowed in basically three to an extent. Okay, plus decods. Okay, four. Sorry. So we saw it flow into Claynos. We saw it flow into decods. Decods is a higher price, so it requires more liquidity to push it. Elixir and Taiyos. So those are, in fact, Elixir's actually right there. Those are the projects that it really flowed into. I think Elixir also did pretty much a 2x from around the same price point. Yeah, it went from like 13 SOL, 14 SOL, all the way to around 26.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just upset that I missed the dip, to be honest. I think if Pilots has the ability to 2x with basically no announcements and just Tom being more active on Twitter, that's all it takes for it to do a 2x. You know, it just gets me so bullish on the long-term vision of the project. And I've been saying it quite a bit, and I'll say it again. I think they compete with ABCs for the top place, but they definitely. I think once the art comes out, they're going to get the branding right. I think they're going to get the utility right, and then it's going to moon. But one thing everyone's waiting for, to an extent, is the sort of art reveal dump. And I actually don't think there's going to be an art reveal dump. So my plan is to basically just catch it on the next dip if Solana dumps, but I'm not looking for an art reveal dump.
Interesting. Well, I mean, well, we'll definitely see what happens here. The art's been coming out, and the other thing I want to look at is Lunar. I mean, out of all the projects, this one went 300%. Just
I think
my
that's the
babies.
babies.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, it's the
yeah,
babies.
my babies. I have a couple of these. The Lunar babies have gone up. The Lunars have gone up. They went from basically 2.70 to 4.70. It's some things that are happening on Twitter with Crypto Dino, or he calls himself now ABC Dino. They're coming. They're basically saying something is coming again. We don't know what, like usual, like last time. And hopefully it is something. I mean, last time they said this, nothing happened, and it took a huge dump. But I'm guessing it's got to do with what they're basically they basically said, like they had some protocol or something they're trying to basically put into hate swap. But we'll see where that goes. Even Bonksy's unrevealeds are sort of going up, but it's still in a huge dump. Grove Medallion was another one. This one's with the Tommy Hilfiger collaboration. It's just a lot of NFTs right now at these levels. I am probably gonna start trimming on a couple. I think that's my plan. Is eventually gonna start trimming on a couple of these NFTs and start accumulating Solana. I think my phase right now is starting to basically go back into Solana slowly. We could basically maybe come down to $15 Solana if inflation. And I know this Solinvestor, I know this is like one of your favorite topics. Is if CPI data is coming out in what 6 days now,
Yeah,
and you have inflation that went from 6.5 to 6.4, which was bearish. If inflation goes from 6.4 to 6.2, I think that will probably be bearish because the Federal Reserve will have to raise interest rates from 25 basis points to 50 basis points. I think that'll be a hot topic. If it increases, which could be another big possibility, 6.4 to 6.5 or 6.6, definitely not good news. And we'll definitely see Solana back down to like $15 or below. I mean, Solinvestor, what do you think? Do you think this week we could potentially see see bearish news with the CPI data, or will we hit like 6%, or 6.1% below?
I haven't even looked at the institutional forecasts. I'm starting to somewhat subscribe to your previous theory that we could maybe have 1 month of a slightly lower CPI, and then it may spike up, or it may spike up this time. Either way, what really matters is what the institutions have forecasted and whether it hits or is below that target. I mean, for example, if they suspect that inflation is going to spike up to 6.6, but it stays at 6.4, the markets could actually just rally off that. So it really just depends on what the institutional forecast is. Hopefully, I will have. Oh, yeah. So we're actually going live the day the TPI comes out
Usually,
on Tuesday.
usually
Yeah.
it's always
it
at the
usually
same time.
collides.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
Tuesday.
I'll definitely have my analysis by then. But on the 10th, we do have non-farm payrolls, which is basically unemployment, and it's so weird because what you if you're looking for like a short-term dip, right? A strong unemployment level could actually cause a short-term dip, because then it gives the Fed leeway to do that 0.5. So if you look for a short-term dip, actually a strong unemployment report, meaning unemployment isn't very high, that could cause a dip. However, if unemployment, the way I'm saying this is weird, but look, if unemployment is low, it could cause a dip because it gives the Fed leeway to increase that base point. If unemployment is high, short-term spike, but that hard landing that some traders have been speculating about. So it'll be interesting what happens with these two data points.
Yeah. That
I hope I
Zircon,
explained that
are
well.
you looking into buying NFTs at this point right now, or just accumulating Solana? Because for me,
Like
I'm just gonna start accumulating Solana.
like
I
right
don't.
now, or you're talking about in the
Yeah,
upcoming weeks?
like right now, because everything is green. There's a lot
Yeah.
of FOMO happening. For me, I'm more gonna be trimming NFTs, and I'm gonna be thinking just buying Solana. And but I do think Solana price is gonna go down a little bit more, and I'm just gonna keep buying more Solana.
Yeah, I mean, we are as always in a great chance of buying Solana. It's really cheap. And I don't see, I mean, the projects I would like to buy are not in the range of 5 to 10. So I wouldn't even bother on buying anything right now. I would just buy Solana and keep accumulating Solana if it was the case.
Yeah,
Thinking of Claynos, Pilots. What else am I missing? Those two are like my VS contenders right now, and maybe experiments by Jersey it has some potential, considering he's apparently gonna drop some casino ish related stuff. We talked about it last episode on how it could pump. But other than that, I'm not looking forward on any buys right now. So I would consider buying Solana.
yeah. I mean, for me, like I'm not gonna buy any Lunars. I'm not gonna buy any Claynos. I'm not gonna buy any Lilies. I'm not gonna buy anything. I'm probably the only thing I could potentially buy is maybe Bet3. Bet3 at right
But three
maybe
is really cheap.
if I look into what's going on, why did they dip? If there's really no reason, and they're with this experiment movement, possibly. But other than that, I'm gonna be selling a little bit NFTs. I'm gonna be buying Solana and accumulating Solana. $18 goes to $15. I'm gonna buy a little bit more Solana, and then when Solana does increase in price, eventually when the Federal Reserve does, control inflation and starts raising rates, and then the market is priced in, and Solana goes back up, and so then NFTs will come back down. Claynos will probably go back down to 40s maybe, and a lot of these will go red, and then that's probably when I'm gonna go buy NFTs. Probably 2 months from now, a month or 2 months from now. But I'm gonna be patient. That's my game plan right now. So
My strategy is a little bit
we'll see.
different, actually.
Yeah, let us know.
I'm actually eyeing 12 Solana. So let's say CPI data isn't great, markets crash. We're currently at 18. It's probably going to drop to around 12, especially if Bitcoin hits around 18K. That means Solana is at $12. So going to buy around 12. I think people will be accumulating just below 12 or at the same region. Immediately, I'm going to go on my watch list. I'm looking at experiments more than Bet3, because while Bet3 sort of has lost more value compared to experiments, I do think experiments is the safer play. So once Solana hits 12 sold, this is my plan. I'm going to buy in then, and then I'm going to look at any NFTs that I believe have the potential to do that 2 to 3x. And once those NFTs hit my entry point, so for example, experiments maybe under 2 SOL, I can see experiments hitting 5 to 6 SOL. So I wouldn't mind buying into that. If pilots hits like 12 SOL again, 13 SOL again, I'm a buyer at that area. So really looking at NFTs that can do that 2 to 3x, sweep those up and then hold those and wait for the moon, because Solana does have the potential to hit around $5. That's sort of what a lot of analysts are calling to be the bottom, especially if we do have that hard landing. So having that NFT, buying into Solana at 12 and then having an NFT that can do a 2 to 3x, you're somewhat covering yourself from the downside, from sort of that downside movement, and preserving your USD value. But yeah, that's my plan.
Some good points. Different strategies. I think yours and mine is kind of a little bit similar, but in a different way. But yeah. $6 Solana. I think that is definitely for sure. And we'll definitely observe very soon in 7 days on how this will play out in very soon. We got Pickle Dice saying Soul Summer coming soon. That Soul Summer is well, 2 months from now, maybe next month, maybe maybe not next month. Actually, this if we do see inflation high, probably 2 months, 3 months, who knows? But
actually,
yeah,
I think if we don't break below 10 and we range in the previous range we were at, somewhere between say 14 and $12-11, around that range, I think Solana Summer's on for NFTs. But I like your other question for where do we see Claynosaurz in terms of price after DeGods migrates. Phil?
Oh, after DeGods leaves the ecosystem, man, even saying that kind of hurts. But yeah, I think Claynos are gonna be one of the top blue chips from what it looks like. It's just what I think in my opinion. Just the only ones that could potentially, if we really break it down, you have Claynos, you have Taiyos, you have ABC, you have Solana Monkey Business. But with those 3 projects, Claynos is the only project that has a moat, in my opinion, to where really nothing can really just conquer it. There's no one out there that can create an animation studio, and if they do, there's no one out there that can get as many people and influence them to create this project outside Disney or Pixel and try to recruit them into this risky world. There's not that. It's very difficult to try to replicate that in Solana. So maybe Ethereum, but I don't see that with nothing else out there. So that's why I really think, they could definitely be up there. In terms of price, I mean, I can't say what the price is, but what I think is they're gonna be up there, probably top five.
Yeah,
What do you think, Zircon?
I think of all the projects you mentioned in that list, Claynosaurz is the only one that didn't break 100 soul yet, uh, which is gonna be interesting. Um, and I think of all the projects you mentioned, is the one with the biggest price up potential,
Yeah,
because even though we didn't expect Claynosaurz being at 60 at this point, we knew it was going to happen. I mean, it's not like, oh, Claynos are at 60. Who would thought that Claynos would reach 60 anytime soon? We all, at least I don't know if Solinvestor, but we both thought that Claynosaurs were gonna reach 60 in the future. So I don't know. I want to see what happens once the gods reached out. It's gonna be a really tough competition between all the projects to see which one is gonna be the top one. But I think Claynos have potential. I don't know if they're gonna be right on the table, sitting with Solana Monkey Business, Taiyo, and ABC, because we're talking about big guys. But Clayno has it potential to be near the table in the future.
I think they surpassed Taiyo.
Wow.
I don't know. I actually agree. I think. Look, okay. Here's the thing. Claynos moving from 60 to 120. That's the same movement as pilots moving from 10 to 20. Right? It's both 100% gain. Uh, for me, it's sort of like, okay, if we get a dip within, let's say CPI data causes a dip, and like I said, I haven't checked out the forecast. I don't even know if they're out yet. But let's say CPI data causes a dip, and Claynos falls from 60 to 40. All right, fair enough. But pilots falls from 20 to 10. I would be more inclined to buy pilots at 10 than
Yeah.
Claynos at 40, because you're just looking for that percentage difference.
Yeah.
If Claynos does fall to 30, to that 25, 30 range again, I am super interested. I am super interested. I faded them the last time. I'm not going to fade them again. So really, what I'll be looking at is that percentage dip, see which one dips the most, and I'll sort of evaluate and make my decisions then. But that's how I'm going to play it. Uh, Claynos hitting 500 soul, I don't know about that. I think it's a little bit too early for 500 soul.
Yeah.
So, so do you disagree with me that Claynos won't be able to surpass Taiyo, or eventually they could?
I think they actually probably might in the short run. So if we're talking about 1-2 months, yeah, most probably, it's quite possible.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
long run, I'm betting on pilots.
well, I think the long run right now, I think if Taiyo is able to capture that ETH fan base like Clayno has, then I would say different. But right now, the only project that has that ETH fan base is Clayno. You have the Pudgies already on board. You have Doodles on board. These guys aren't fan basing. The monkeys are not fan basing Taiyos. They're not fan basing anything else out there. I think that whole liquidity is a big game changer for Claynos. Be honest, Zircon. I mean,
think,
do you
Yeah.
sorry.
what you think?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we're talking about big projects on Ethereum, people with money. That's the main thing. I mean, we're not talking about not even degens. We're talking about people that are holding really expensive assets. So if these people are interested in on Claynos, it's gonna be they have like they have the wild card on their hand against other
Yeah.
projects right now.
Yep.
One word.
Solinvestor. Yep.
Pornography.
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 Oh,
Look.
oh,
Yeah, you heard it right. Look, we all know where Tom comes from, right? Background in marketing for pornography companies. He's a multi-millionaire, right? I think there was once a photo on his Twitter of him driving around in a Ferrari or something like that. Tom is no joke in that space. He's very, very well known. If he can market this really well, if he did also say in a space with, I think, with Frank, that he's also in touch with one of the largest pornography companies, and he's talking about bridging them from Web2 to Web3. If he actually accomplishes stuff like that, we're no longer talking about a project worth, $1 million. No, we're talking about $100 million industry, well, $1 billion industry. And he can, I think he can capture a sizable chunk of that market share and really expose a Web3 space to it and lead that charge. Purely from a number standpoint, when you consider how massive that industry is, and Tom being a big player there, I think it would be interesting. I mean, it's a debate, brand versus utility, but we'll see.
that's another interesting point right there. But I think if I speak about moat, I think Taiyo and the moat is kind of someone else can kind of do it in some way because it's a big industry. I just think in this type of animation and branding with Claynos, it's more in the general market of people of all ages, and again, something that's like less disruptive. But I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but if we're also talking about DeGods, Frank is really close to Tom. I mean, I can see Frank going on to ETH, going on to Polygon, dominating Polygon, being one of the top on ETH, and still doing spaces with Tom.
Yeah, they're like bros now.
If that doesn't catch ETH's attention, I don't know what will. So I think it's a little bit unfair to claim that, Claynos is going to get all of the ETH attention. I think they're going to get a lot of it. They have got a lot of it so far. But I think there will come a point where ETH guys will look at pilots and will start sweeping that up. That's just my theory. I don't know. I think I'm strangely bullish on pilots, but yeah.
Yeah, pilots for sure. We definitely talked about that and seen them go make their move. I mean, Zircon, you have any last thoughts in NFT space? Something you're looking at? Other NFT projects out there?
No, not much. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna check Bastards next week because we haven't seen a mint like in the longest time. So I wanna see how they played that. I don't have whitelist. I'm not gonna straight buy on secondary. I'm just gonna wait a couple of days if they do well. Because I like the art, I like the concept, everything around them. But other than that, no last words. I'm thinking on waiting on the CPI data next week. Not trading much. We're gonna see. We're gonna see maybe an impact on CPI over the Bastards because it's gonna be the day after. So that's gonna be interesting. And that's all on me.
Yeah. Interesting stuff right there. Definitely going to be talking about CPI next week. Solinvestor, any last words we got for the people out there?
Yeah. Look, there's a lot of opium. Pilots is pumped. Claynosaurz is pumped. I would just say, keep a level head, wait for a dip, and trade responsibly. Keep in mind the value of Sol, the value of NFTs, and just trade accordingly. Don't need FOMO into anything.
another great words from Solinvestor. And I mean, as far as like what's going on right now, I mean, he does have Solinvestor does have a point. Again, I know you're excited about next week. This is your realm with the CPI data. We'll definitely see for sure what's going to happen. Now, I am going to say I'm not going to buy anything. I'm just going to watch here. It's too much craziness. I'm just going to probably bet 3, see what happens there. Definitely not Toys R Us. I made a wrong move there. Now, besides that, I'm also gonna be like Solinvestor and Zircon and check out the CPI data. That's gonna be a big game changer next week. We're talking about a big 50 basis point change or a 25 basis point change within the market, and Jerome Powell probably getting his butt went by Congress if something does not look good next week. So let's find out. And plus, we have the deficit that's coming in about a month and a half. That's going to be another big player in this whole market, the U.S. debt ceiling. So thanks, guys. Make sure you guys like us and comment below anything you want us to talk about. If you mint that like button, it's going to help us a lot. It keeps us going. And make sure you subscribe as well. Tuesdays and Thursdays we go live. We're going to go live next week, definitely on the CPI stuff. You can't miss that. And then we also have our own Twitters. Follow us below. And much love and peace. Peace, Pickle Dice. Peace, King Lil. Peace, everybody out there. Boom.